Hi everyone, David here. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for coming back for another video, or welcome if it's your first one. Thanks for joining us. How are you doing? I'm doing okay. I'm really tired though. I've just come back from Tokyo. I did 2 night buses there and back, which is pretty exhausting. It takes about 8 or 9 hours on the bus. Hopefully you're sleeping most of the time, but yeah, it was a little bit rough. I don't think I slept that well. I just took a 20-minute nap that turned into 2.5 hours, so okay, yeah, I need to talk about this before it gets less fresh in my mind. So I'm here to talk about a few perfume related topics. Last month you may remember I made a video talking about the Nebula Romance Part 2 review. Please watch that if you can, although I've kind of changed my mind about some of the things in that after seeing this latest show. That was the main reason for me to go there. I planned this out since, I don't know, March or April, something like that, to see the Nebula Romance episode Tokyo Dome. 2 shows held on the 22nd and 23rd of September to celebrate their 20th anniversary of their major label debut and 25 years of their debut at all. So that's something, yeah, it's an anniversary year. Needed to have a special show, and the Tokyo Dome happily was the place for it. They've done some Tokyo Dome shows in the past, I think pretty much every 5 years since 2010, so since their 10th anniversary. So they're doing a special 2-day event. I was there for the first one. By the time this video goes out, the second one will have happened already as well. I think it's going to happen in about sort of 2 hours from when I'm recording this. And well, we weren't expecting the big announcement a couple of days ago though, on Sunday, to say that they were going to enter cold sleep, which is a Perfume science fiction talk for going on hiatus. Yeah, there was a kind of ominous Instagram story about this a few days before, so we're thinking, what was that about? Yeah, finally bad news. Well, I mean, not bad news, but a little bit sad for us fans, because we're not going to see Perfume for a little while. It does sound like they are going to come back at some point, but they have been doing pretty much 25 years non-stop work since they were like 11 and 12 or something crazy like that, very young. So they need some time to just live their lives. They're sort of 36, 37 years old now, so they need a bit of time to become the women they want to be. So I support them completely, of course, but yeah, of course a little bit sad to hear that they're going away for a while. So that kind of added a new slant on this couple of shows. So is this going to be like a farewell tour? Is it going to be a, or what's going to happen? Because the last tour, the Nebula Romance Part 1, it was totally in support of the album. The first, in fact, I made a video about this, so check that out too. But the first half of the show was just Nebula Romance, start to finish, no breaks, just as like a movie soundtrack for a film that doesn't exist, a sci-fi movie. You get little snippets of bits of storyline here. I wish I could talk to you about that, because I couldn't really understand it that well, because it's quite fast. The text goes on quickly, and of course my Japanese is not amazing, so hopefully I get to watch some kind of fan sub later on at some point. So we weren't sure about what was going to happen for the Part 2 album. Were they going to do the same thing again, just play all that and then do the hits at the end? That was not the case, it turns out. So I'm going to talk about the set list. I'm going to talk about the merch I bought, talk about the cold sleep a bit more, and yeah, I guess that's probably all of it today. So please like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment or a question. What did you think of the tour? What do you think of what I'm talking about? Just give me some attention, I need you. And share this channel to any Perfume fans out there as well. I'd appreciate that a lot. I'm really struggling to get this channel off the ground after 4.5 years. I'm kind of getting close to getting monetization, but then it's been snatched away. So help me out, I need one last little push. So here we are. Of course, there's going to be major spoilers about the set list for the tour. It's already happened, it's already finished, so I thought maybe it's okay. But please, if you're planning to watch it in the cinema release that's apparently coming soon, just be aware of that. I'm going to talk about all of the set list and all the bits and bobs. and of course what I thought about it. So, okay, just be warned. Okay, so how did it go then? So, well, I'll go through the set list and then I'll kind of explain it as I go along. So, Tokyo Dome, this is my first Tokyo Dome show. It's my first Perfume Dome show as well. Dome show, it's hard to say. I've been to Kyocera Dome before for another artist, but I thought this is my 10th Perfume concert, so I wanted to do something special, and it's the anniversary as well, so I thought this would be perfect. I mean, thank goodness I did, because Tokyo's a long way to go. I almost didn't do it, so I don't want to miss this part of Perfume history. So it started off with Game, which was excuse me, too excited. Started off with Game that's the title track from the album, which is a big shock because we were kind of expecting it to open with Cypher from Nebula Romance Part 2 and do the album like that. So immediately we knew something was going off, and also it was something slightly familiar. This was actually the Game performance they had for the P-Cubed concerts, which was the greatest hits concert they had in 2020. They've got a bit of unfinished business at Tokyo Dome because I think they were going to finish at Tokyo Dome, and they did the first day, but the second day got cancelled because of the pandemic. So they did a little snippet of the P-Cube tour, which was nice of them, especially for one of my friends. I have to shout out Shun as well, who I met yesterday. He gave me all the set list, and he's been chatting way through and helping me understand all of this fan references that I've missed. So there we go, he was happy because he had a ticket for that show. So on then to Saisei from Plasma, that was the second track. Lovely to hear that again, I love that song. So again, we were thinking, what's going on? What are we going to do? But then after that we did move on to Cypher, the introduction to Nebula Romance Part 2, and then on to Saikido Sekai, which is the Reboot World track 2, and Nebula Romance, the title track from Part 2. That was there too. I must say, like, Cypher was just like an interlude really, or introduction. But Saikido Sekai was really exciting, very dynamic, and the staging was really interesting. Nebula Romance, I felt like it was a little bit flat in the staging, just kind of pink and simple. I think I had this criticism of the Nebula Romance tour last time, is that they didn't the songs off Nebula Romance aren't quite as dynamic when you put it next to all the big hits and exciting, so they kind of had their work cut out to try and bring them to life a bit, and I don't think they quite succeeded for the title track. There's a couple of other ones which I feel a bit like that. That's always the danger when you've got the new stuff against the big hits, the tried and true concert favourites. So there we go. Yeah. After that though, we went on to a little MC about the cold sleep, which they just wanted to get that out of the way, otherwise that's kind of the elephant in the room. Yeah, very emotional. I think Ah-chan and Kashiyuka were both kind of tearing up. I feel like Nochi never cries at all. I'm sure she does sometime, but not on stage. So they're talking about what they feel about how nervous they were about the presentation of their message. But it kind of got everyone on side. Of course, everyone's supporting them. They want them to have a happy life, and they're kind of grateful for all the hard work they've done over 25 years. So with that out of the way, they managed to move on to Electro World, which, I mean, we've heard Electro World in live concerts quite a lot, but I love it. That's personally for me. I think the first concert I saw was in London on their second world tour, the first one in London, and that really kind of, I don't know, I was at a bit of a sensitive time at that point because I was thinking about whether to go to Japan or not, and I think having concerts like that really kind of helped me feel like this is good energy, I think I can do this. So Electro World's really tied up with that memory as well, so that's really important for me. The interesting thing was they kind of mixed it up with some of the Nebula Romance video stuff as well. So the Mr. Mike show thing, the little montage thing they were doing, that had bits of Nebula Romance in it, bits of Electro World in it. So this is the first time we've seen the Nebula Romance world and the other back catalogue being mixed in, which was kind of cool. Then we moved on to Solar Wind and then Virtual Fantasy from Nebula Romance. So yeah, continuing the story there. I like some of the visuals as well. They had some kind of lasers doing things too. They weren't really that big on visual effects this time around, which I kind of, I think I fell in love with watching some of their videos online with all the lasers and whatnot going on. So I guess the staging was a little bit simple, but we've kind of got used to that a little bit from after Plasma. I think it's become a little bit simple. Well, not simple, but simpler, let's say, in relative terms. We had a little interlude there with a bit of story, and then moved on to Fusion, which blew my mind because I love Fusion. I was even talking to my friend Shun beforehand. We were talking about songs we wanted to see. He said Saisei, so that had already come up. I said Fusion, so it was kind of miraculous that came up as well. That's one of my all-time favourite Perfume bangers. So yeah, great, especially with the really tall roof of Tokyo Dome. They had some really tall shadows being projected onto the ceiling, which was really kind of creepy. Fusion's a bit of a creepy one anyway, so yeah, enjoyed that. Then we had another interlude. This, I think, included episode 0, which was from the Gurun Gurun tour, which is actually the first tour I saw, well, apart from the world tour. This is the first show I saw in Japan back in 2014. I went all the way to Fukuoka for that one. Thank you to Saori, if she's watching this. She helped me get tickets, so we enjoyed that one. So I think this was an interlude from the Gurun Gurun tour. And that moved into another throwback, which was Perfume no Okite, which is from their first Dome show in 2010. This was their 10th anniversary, and that was their biggest show of their lives up to then. So that was really cool. It was kind of merging their current selves with their 2010 selves. They were doing the same dances, and the kind of visuals are kind of merging seamlessly between the two. So that was really cool, and just really cool as well. It's just, I don't know, it's just a really nice interlude. Well, it's not really an interlude, it's quite long. I think this was the one with each person got their kind of moment to do their dancing, and Ah-chan popped up with a huge like laser gun and was shooting balloons off the top of mannequins, which was really cool. I think this happened in the previous Dome show as well, so that was cool. I missed all that, of course. Then we moved on to Flow from Plasma. That seems to be a bit of a tour favourite now. I think they finished the Nebula Romance Part 1 tour with that, so they must really love Flow. And then they moved on to Teenage Dreams from Nebula Romance Part 2. Another interlude, and then we had Human Factory, Denso Ningen. So that's kind of tying up some of the story as well. I think I've gone past this now, but I think the episode 0 interlude had some actual drone army dancers, so they were kind of popping up all around the dome and doing some kind of interpretive dance to show their inner pain, I guess. I really wish I could have understood the story for most of that, but there we go. But yeah, Human Factory, that was a good one. I really like that from the album now. We had another interlude, which was actually Navigate from Cosmic Explorer, which was nice. Even I managed to clock that one, so I was very happy. That's one of their... Is that an opening track? I'm not... Oh, okay. So I'm showing off my ignorance again. That moved straight on to Moon, because I guess they're navigating to the moon. And then Exit, which were the 8th and 9th tracks from Nebula Romance 2, which is a 10-track album. So we were thinking, okay, well, we just got to wait for Mega Loop now to round off Nebula Romance, and it didn't come. At the end of Exit, which I really like as well, and I love Moon. I've never stopped going on about Moon. The end of Exit, they actually had the credits for the imaginary movie for Nebula Romance, but included all the tour credits and fan club stuff and everything, basically, the merchandise. So we were thinking, okay, right, what's going on now? Is this the end of the concert, or what's going on? But that was the end of the Nebula Romance story, even though that's not the end of the album itself. So that was really interesting because the video for Mega Loop is the visuals from that were used in Exit. So we were thinking, okay, they've kind of repurposed our ending song for Exit instead. But I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it? Exit sounds like a kind of closing track. So there we go. That was Nebula Romance finished, and we moved on to a kind of dance mega mix, not a dance mega mix, remixed by Yasutaka Nakata himself. So that flashed up on the screen. And of course, everyone's cheering him because he's like the mastermind behind Perfume's music. So then we got four hits in a row. We've got Polyrhythm, which was great, really. I mean, I've heard Polyrhythm a lot of times. That was their big breakthrough single, so they have a lot of gratitude for that. But because they performed it so many times, they've got a lot of concert footage of them doing it, so it was really mixed up. You could see all the different polyrhythms throughout the ages, so that was really nice, kind of tying it together with all the concert tours. We got Butterfly as well from Game, which was also an interesting one. I like that one. I always think that's from Level 3 for some reason, but yeah, I'm wrong. Edge, oh my goodness, I love Edge so much. That was one of the big... I think watching a clip of Edge from the Triangle tour really made me want to see Perfume live when I watched that in England. So that's got a lot of meaning for me as well. I love Edge. And also Chocolate Disco, which is one of their kind of biggest of their fan favourites, I think, from Game. That kind of made me sad, really, because that and Electro World and basically anything that had a kind of call and response thing made me kind of sad, because I felt like, oh, is this the last time we're going to do this for a while? And I don't know, I think I'm not ready for those feelings yet. So it was kind of confronting me with the hiatus, I think, a little bit, cold sleep, sorry. So after Chocolate Disco, we went on to the PTA corner. So they did their little shout outs, the call and response things as well. So yeah, it was also a little bit sad. I've done quite a few of these now, so I think I'm just about getting to grips with all the shout outs are. And we did something with Kabocha and Suzuki, and these were our kind of regional, seasonal call out things. We had to do sort of different gestures along with that. So anyway. So then we're moving on to the final stretch. We had Night Flight from Triangle, another Triangle call out, which I like. That was nice. I feel like that might have been shown at the Nebula Romance tour that I was at. They had a bit of a mixed playlist on that one. They different performances have different playlists to some extent. So that was nice to see that again. Then we had My Color, which of course is one of their traditional closing numbers. So that's from JPN. Yeah, I don't know, it just feels very kind of uplifting and climactic for the end. And then they did some closing words. They were talking about how they met and how they're feeling about the future and the cold sleep. So yeah, I don't know, made me sad, but yeah, happy that they're going to enjoy their lives for a while, and hopefully they're going to come back. I do feel positive about that, at least. So yeah, I'm waiting to see them again. And then finally, we ended up with Mega Loop, the final track from Nebula Romance 2. Kind of detached from the narrative from the album, but it does actually work quite nicely. I don't know, I guess I felt like a lot of deja vu with this tour, and a lot of dredging up some old memories as well from my experience with Perfume over the years. So very nice way to finish. And then there's one last little thing at the end, not a song, but we got to Gishiki, which is actually the intro of the first Dome show back in 2010, where they count up from 1 to 10 to show the 10 years. This time they're counting down from 25 to 0 on their 25th anniversary. So that was a kind of poignant, I don't know, complete the circle moment. And yeah, there they go, they were gone. And then these huge bubble statues of each of them appeared out of the stage, which was really cool. I don't know if they're the same ones, but I saw these kind of bubble statues at the discography show last year at Tokyo Dome. So that was a nice little Easter egg as well. So yeah, there we go. That was the tour. Loved it. Didn't want it to end. Wish I understood more Japanese. I wish I'd learnt more of the dance routines, or not, the gestures that the fans do. Call outs to pretty much all of the albums. We've got 4 from Game. We've got 1 from the pre-fame, the Complete Best, the Electro World. We had a couple from JPN. We got one from JPN, 2 from Triangle. I made notes down here. What else? We've got 1 from Cosmic Explorer, 1 from Future Pop, 2 from Plasma. Nothing from Nebula Romance Part 1, of course, because that was already, this is the Part 2 tour, so as a complete thing. Nothing from Level 3 either, which was a little bit sad. They were so close to doing every album. Although, I don't know, let me know in the comments, but I was sure they were going to do Enter the Sphere in one of the interludes. I felt like I could just hear it on the edge of happening. So if anyone else thought they've got Enter the Sphere, I think it was around the middle, maybe the one after Teenage Dreams, before Human Factory. I could have sworn I had Enter the Sphere, which I was going crazy about because I love that intro. So there we go. Yeah, I love the album now. Don't care what I said before. I'm going to listen to that with different ears now, and same with the first album and the Plasma tour. Of course, I didn't really grab onto that first time, but I love that after the tour. It was really nice. It was kind of poignant. We got to see a lot of hits. We could finish off the Nebula Romance. We could hear from them about the Cold Sleep. It finished really nicely. It's callbacks to the tours, callbacks to the domes. There was a remarkable bit of tying up so many loose ends. So I'm just looking forward to the next one. I wonder if I'd really like to see like a complete hits tour, just blasting through the back catalogue. Because I didn't get to see the P-Cubed tour because I wasn't really seeing concerts at that point, and now I know I can do it by myself. I can manage that. So yeah, we're waiting for you. See you at the next stage. That was their final message on the screens. So yeah, see you at the next stage too. Okay, I've been talking 21 minutes already. I wasn't planning to go through all that, so such a length. But let's look at the merch as well. I lined up for how long? About 40 minutes for the merch. I got there at just after 12:30, which is when it opened. I thought, oh, maybe I'll just go in there now while it's quiet, and then get lunch, and then just kind of keep busy until the concert. There was incredibly long queue. It did get stretched out at the end. I'll show you a little clip of that, but there was quite a long row of stalls, so it did kind of move fairly quickly, but it was just kind of incredibly long looking. It was very intimidating. But first of all, I got this. This is the Nebula Romance, one of the t-shirts with the graphics on it. Let me just show you that one. So there we go. It's got the cover artwork for episode 2, except it's got the episode Tokyo Dome on it. And on the back, I don't know if you can see that, it's got the tour dates for the Nebula Romance, just the two of them. That was good. This is extra large again. I think I just like to wear these around the house. It's a bit sweaty though, because like the iron-on print, it's I don't know, it's kind of gets a bit sweaty on the skin. But the second one, we're having a cold sleep, so I thought better layer up. I thought I'd get 2 t-shirts. I got the white one as well. So it's got this kind of spongy, squashy Nebula Romance text on it, and then on the back, it's got nice design, cosmic design. 1973, fell from the moon to Earth with the lights. 1973. And then 2025, what does it say? I found signs of perfume. They are still dancing and singing in the other universe. Distance means nothing when the heart remembers. Oh, there's another one, sorry, 2005 as well. I shift through space-time into a parallel universe. I don't know what's going on here. Don't know what that's about. Anyway, nice t-shirt. And put that over there. I got the fan club towel as well. Perfume. I never know what to do with these fan towels because I feel like they're nice items, so I don't want to use them just like towels. Maybe I'm being too fussy. So just on the back it's reversed, but it's of course it's the reverse of this one. So that's nice. There's the towel as well. I've been getting these jacket collection things as well. So I opened 2 of these. You get these little pouch things. They're like 500 yen each, and you get a random badge pin thing with artwork. I think this one was from One Room Disco. She told me about that. I had to do some research on this one, but this is apparently Baby Cruising Love Macaroni single. That's 2 songs. Baby Cruising Love / Macaroni. So there we go, if you can see those. I really wish it was one of my favourite singles. I mean, One Room Disco is alright, but I have to listen to that one again. I still got my, sorry, I meant to crack these open at the start, but I would have been burping all day. got my Nebula Romance laminate candies. You might remember these from last time. So yeah, I'm going to pour one out for, this is as good occasion as any to open this up. Oh dear. Okay, there we go. Let's do the 2025 one, the ZOZ5, which is apparently 2025. I don't know why they wrote it like that. Some little laminate candy. I've got one of these left. I don't know what occasion I'm gonna do this, eat those. And I think I want to go to the cinema event. They're going to show the final tour, I think. Maybe if they're on Kohaku just before their cold sleep, then I'll have it then. So there we go. I think that's pretty much everything. Of course, I'm very sad to hear they're going cold sleep, but now I feel a bit more confident that they're going to come back. Oh, shouldn't I? Eating these right. Yeah, that's it really. Wish the best of luck to them. I hope they get a nice long rest and they can enjoy everything they've created as well. We've got plenty of stuff to look through. I've decided to go on some insane deep dive of everything now, because I always kind of felt like I was a bit of a minor fan, because I don't know a lot of the pre-fame stuff. I don't know much about the tours, so some of these Easter eggs that they're throwing out all over the place, that was I don't know, it's just my little complex as well, and I'm a foreigner as well, so I always feel a little bit of outsider syndrome. So I want to dive into all that. I'm going to dive into all the Yasutaka Nakata stuff as well. His work as Capsule, he's done a solo album, he's done Kari Pamu Pamu as well, and some other stuff. So I'm going to deep dive into all that, and all the albums again, and everything. I just want to rub it all over my body. All this nostalgia and stuff like that. So that was a weird phrase to use. Okay, I just want to immerse myself, deep dive. That's a bit nicer. So I'm probably not going to stop talking about Perfume on this channel. I might not have any breaking news until they come back. But if I might do like a ranking or something. I don't know. I'll work something out. I know some of my videos about my interests have gone down less than excitedly. But never mind. I don't care. I'm going to do what I like. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy everything. Hope you get to see the tour somehow. If you haven't watched it live, I hope you watch it in the cinema. Hope you can get it on DVD at some point. I don't know. But please let me know in the comments, what do you think about all of this? Just talk to me. I'll be happy to get any comments. And like this video, please subscribe to the channel. Share this channel as well. I really want to get to monetization at some point, so please help me out, all my Perfume fans out there. I'd appreciate that a lot. All right, I've got to stop somewhere. So thank you very much. Take care. Have a nice day, and see you again soon. Bye bye.